It's tabletop time.
I'm Jazza from Draw with Jazza.
I'm Shad from I Am Shad.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Mackie.
And we're here to play Shad's campaign.
Mini
Those of you watching on YouTube, be aware that we play live on Twitch at twitch.tv/It's Tabletop Time. And we also, brand new, have a podcast release, audio version on SoundCloud.
A cast
SoundCloud. So those who just want to hear me terribly ruin the speech of it all can go to soundcloud.com/It's Tabletop Time.
In all honesty, I'm just as good as butchering the English language as anyone.
At butchering.
See?
Yeah.
Cool. We also have a Twitter, which is at Tabletop Time, so we'll favourite and retweet you guys if you throw us some fan art, which is pretty common at the moment.
Oh,
so,
it's awesome. You guys are
jump
amazing.
in and participate in that. And who knows, maybe your art could end up as a thumbnail for the campaigns in the future and that sort of thing for YouTube. Not to mention we'll also throw them up in the stream and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
To play, we're using Cogent Roleplaying, which you can find on cogentroleplay.com. And it's super easy to use, even though I haven't used it that much. It's quick to get a hold of, so it's great.
And you can download it for free.
Oh my god!
It's free!
Yeah. Character sheets and core rulebook and cheat sheets and all that stuff.
All there.
So let's jump into it.
We are doing a mini campaign based in a medieval low fantasy, which means the medieval is actually important, and we're going to try and focus on the authentic side. But it's also got fantasy elements, it's going to be lots of fun, and we're going to get really right into it. But to begin with, what do your characters look like? Because we did character creation just previously.
And for those who wanted to skip that video, we could also mention briefly just their character whole thing. So do you want to start, Amy?
Sure.
And give me my book back.
I want your book anyway. Okay, so I'm playing Sadie, a young adult. She's got a strange ability, supernatural power. She can shrink herself. She's not entirely in control of it. She's not really bulky. She's sort of, skinny, slenderish. She's very good. She's very stealthy. She has long black hair. She usually wears it in a braid just to keep it out of the way. She wears greaves with short boots or shoes, just nothing really major. And she's got a tunic type hunter top, where it's not really tight. It's a little bit baggy because she likes to hide her daggers.
Skin color, hair color?
Skin color is Caucasian, and black for the hair color.
Did you say that, or Sorry, I'm not paying attention.
Just, you were more than free to have black. Black hair is actually more uncommon in this region, so you might actually be noticed more with black hair.
What are your goals and aspirations and your specialized skills and attributes?
So her lifelong goal is sort of to not be afraid of other people being afraid of her. So that's sort of what she's faced her whole life. People have tried to hide her, but she wants to sort of convince people that it's not bad and that it's, that it's good, that it's not scary.
You don't need to kill me because I can shrink myself. I don't hurt people.
That's right.
And if they try and kill you, you just shrink yourself. Problem solved.
So daggers is obviously her weapon. She's got 2 points in that. Should I go through all my skills as well?
How did she become so proficient with her daggers?
Well, she used to sneak out. She lived with her auntie because her parents left her there, and her auntie didn't treat her very well. But she used to sneak out
and stab people.
Sneak out and practice with her daggers because they were she could hide them and she could sneak. So work together.
Awesome.
I like it. Now, just to let you fill you in about daggers, what's really important is when you get in a fight, Amy, you need to do something called close combat. Otherwise, you're going to be destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we'll just very briefly, weapons have advantages and disadvantages, and bigger weapons like swords and axes and long swords and all that stuff have extra dice you can roll, extra damage you can inflict. With daggers, you don't get extra points, but when you're in close combat, you can negate their extra points and that proficiency they have in that. So essentially, they can't use their weapon by being very close to them. Okay. So if you get in really close to someone with a big sword, if you can get in really close to them, you have to successfully do that. Then they don't, if they have all these points in that proficiency in that weapon and the weapon itself, useless. Okay. And you have all your dagger points, right? So that's when you get a big advantage. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so the trick is getting into close combat. But once you're in, you have the big advantage.
Okay.
We're also using hardcore combat rules. We'll go into that briefly in a moment before we begin the roleplay. Mackie, do you want to introduce yourself?
So I'm playing Sir Alaric Firebrand, who's essentially a witcher. I don't know any other name for it, or a witch hunter. Basically,
You're a monster hunter.
Yeah, basically I track and kill supernatural beings. My character's about 5'8", Caucasian, age 33, bald, wears a long white kind of overcoat looking thing with a huge shoulder guard and gauntlets, and uses a big Warhammer poleaxe hybrid.
You can just call it's a poleaxe because a poleaxe has a big hammer head. So by virtue of what it is, it always has a big hammer side to it. It's a cool weapon.
And character is basically the next religious crusader who's basically decided to study and kill supernatural entities, I guess.
So what's your vocation that you have 4 points on there?
Supernatural scholar.
I love it. That's
I didn't
great.
know what else to call it.
No, that's perfect because what that means is...
You have 4 points in that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is so cool.
Like, that could really help you
4
out.
points in a skill is like...
That actually, that's pretty crazy. So basically, I'm always going to give you a chance that you might know certain things and give you a skill check to, see if you know stuff.
And chances are you'll
know stuff. That could be really helpful.
That's awesome.
Gee. That might have ruined the entire game.
No secrets now.
I know.
What's the name of this campaign
It's
again?
called the Rune Witch.
The Ruin Witch. Oh,
witches.
He's probably heard of her. So no mystery there. Cool. My turn?
Yes, Jazza.
I am playing Dale, a former farm boy, and when I say former, very recently former, who is now the squire to Sir Alaric, alongside Sadie. Is that correct?
Sadie's more of the cook, cleaner, that
Okay.
you guys are not so aware that she can shrink and also kill lots of things with daggers.
Awesome. So, but we're sort of semi-adventurers, co-adventurers with Sir Alaric.
Yeah, it's more Alaric is the adventurer and you guys are the retinue.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Adventures of Sir Alaric and those other guys.
No,
It's cool.
It's great.
Do you know what? It's like, I feel like I get to play Frodo in Lord of the Rings, or no, Samwise. Not
Yeah.
Frodo, because it's like, no, because they're all as part of the story, which is fun, So, anyways, yeah, so Dale was a farm boy. He was part of a very big family in a very small town. He has an obsession with food because there was not enough food on the table, and it was always a sort of a fight to the death or very near death with all of his siblings to get food. So he has a constant need to steal and take and eat and stash away food. So he's very food focused in that way, but he's also extremely skinny, almost malnourished, skinny, kind of tweedy. He's got blonde, sort of wavy straw hair, not like blonde hair, but like straw, dirty blonde hair. Yeah, again, really skinny, quite a young face, no facial hair or anything like that. Really sort of baggy-ish clothes and lots of straps and bags, and he's got sort of quilted armour, padded armour. Gambeson, thank you. And just pretty sort of rough sort of stuff. He looks pretty scraggly. He's the sort of dude that looks like if he's wearing a helmet, it always looks too big for his head. He looks like he's sort of out of place.
I love it. That's great.
But he is very friendly. He's got a few points in perception and all this stuff, but the thing that's special about Dale is he is amazing with his sling. Growing up on the farm, he used to spend a lot of time causing trouble, and he is like amazing with his sling. Like, it's even the people in his town who get really fed up with him and all his pranks, they all can't help but be impressed by how good he is with his sling. They're like, God damn it, you ruined the barn and my crops, but you did it. That was really impressive. Oh, I hate you. Yeah, so that's Dale, who's a squire to Sir Alaric, and his goals and aspirations, he wants to be somebody, or with somebody who is somebody. So because he grew up in a small town in a big family, he's always been sort of a nobody, and he's excited to see the world. He's excited to serve someone who he thinks might be a noble knight, and he sort of puts him on a pedestal a bit, really respects Sir Alaric and hopes to have his approval and one day be in a castle with buffets around him everywhere, who is the squire to the renowned Sir Alaric.
Alrighty, now this is a mini campaign, so it's going to go over 3 kind of streams or sessions. And in this campaign, we are going to be using what is called the hardcore weapon rules and armor rules. Now, what this is, in the regular rules, if someone has an armor rating of, say, 3, when that person is attacked, those armor ratings get kind of used up by the damage you deal until you have no more armor points left. And then when you get damaged, you get damaged. The hardcore ones is those armor points are now permanent. It's a permanent damage reduction modifier. So if you have 4 points of armor, that will reduce every damage by 4 points every time you're attacked permanently.
Well, that sounds OP, narrator. What's the catch?
Well, to balance it, every weapon has an additional stat to it that gives it an ability to reduce an opponent's armor by a set amount, dependent on the type of weapon. So big hammers, for instance, reduce opponent's armor by quite a lot. But their natural combat bonus that you get on your combat roll is less because they are more cumbersome. They're just less effective in regular fighting than, say, a sword. So that's the balance. The other thing is now, to get around opponents with high armor, you need to do what they did in real life. Use tactics. Trip them up, pull them down, dagger in the throat kind of thing.
Or is it true, correct me if I'm wrong, that close combat also negates armor
I think
completely?
it does, actually. I think
entirely negates armor.
Yeah, I think it does.
Keep that in mind. So if you come up, Amy, or Sadie, against someone with full plate mail, and they're going to be tough to. If they have 2 points of strength and full plate mail, that's like you'll be like whacking it with a stick doing
is
nothing.
Almost like 6 or 7 points of armor.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But if you get in close, it doesn't matter.
In regards,
because that's like you get your dagger and you get them right under the armpit or things like that. It totally negates.
So you're like an
armor.
armor killer. It's really
Now
cool.
armor has obviously benefits because against range or against other swords or whatever, obviously huge benefit.
There's another thing with armor, because the armor points can get higher with the hardcore weapon rules and armor rules, and to make it more realistic, half of your armor score is subtracted from your combat roll. So if your combat roll of total dice, say, comes up to around 6, and you have an armor rating of 4, your combat roll is now 4, because 2 is subtracted from it.
Yeah.
That easy to do, which basically means the more armor, the more cumbersome, the less you can move around, and that's just realistic.
Can we all calculate our armor stuff right now? Just to
it's
start?
real easy. Yours is 1. You're wearing a gambeson.
So give me this. So this essentially means this is just added to my...
It's a damage reduction of 1. That's it.
So someone does damage to me, and let's say they get 4 and I get 2, they automatically, there's 1 less on
They
their
get
roll.
a level 2 victory against you, which means they can choose to do a level 2 injury, which gets reduced by 1 because of your armor to a level 1 injury.
Damage reduction by 1.
Exactly.
And it's always applied.
Yes.
Okay.
So is the other thing I was going to ask you, Shad, which I didn't ask before, is in a case where, let's say, we're fighting someone who's got ridiculous amounts of armor. So let's say class 7. If I hit them first and reduce their armor by 5, is that armor reduction then applied if someone follows it up with a secondary attack? So if I smack someone in the chest for that attack round,
It
or
doesn't
it's
stack
completely
between.
negated?
It's like that armor reduction applies for every single attack by every single weapon.
Okay.
So just like in real life.
So, okay.
But what you could do things to help the other person's attack. You could assist them. You could try and grapple them. Right, and stuff like that. There's a whole number of things that you can do, just like in real life, to get around these insanely high armors. Now, the armor, remember how half your armor gets reduced off your combat modifier, is rounded down. So half of 1 rounded down is 0, so Jazza, you get no reduction to your combat roll based on your armor.
Yep.
So easy to go. Amy, are you going to be wearing any armor?
Not like heavy stuff.
So Gambeson.
Yeah, is that like just...
That's padded, yeah. It's,
probably.
There's a real basic,
Yep.
So 1 point of armor, half of 1 rounded down is 0, so no reduction from your combat bonus either.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, we're going good, guys. Okay, we're
ready to start the roleplay. You've figured out your armor and stuff and all, everyone's got that
I did
figured
this
out.
before. Yep.
Set the scene, dear narrator.
Right.
I haven't roleplayed in so long, I'm so excited.
So, Sir Alaric, amongst your travels, not so long ago, you came across a strange letter nailed to the notice board of the village you found yourself passing through. It was a desperate plea for help, asking anyone brave enough to find their way to the small village of Rockwind by the 3rd moon of the 2nd season, which was just like in a week's time. The note claims that their village has been preyed upon by a witch for the last 100 years.
Okay.
And that would have piqued your interest, like...
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alarm bells were like, right there. 100 years, and that they have been forced to offer up one of their daughters every 10th year or suffer under the witch's terrible power. It is now the month until they must offer up another daughter, and they are crying for help. The questions that would logically come, and I'm guessing some of you may have asked.
Just switch it to the outside, I reckon.
What?
Because you keep turning this way, and if the mic's just on the other lapel.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Guys. Is that better?
I'm sure it will be.
Is that better? Okay. Questions that would have naturally arisen from amongst you on your travels is, why would these peasants, these villagers, seek help in such an odd way? You would all know that the first point of help any villager, serf would go to would be their lord.
Oh, okay, yep.
The baron that they have sworn fealty to. So it's odd that the baron hasn't done anything. And then, by extension, it would go up the levels of whoever has the next level of authority. So above that would be the count. And so, but they're not asking for the help from their, lords, which should be protecting them. So there's a kind of a red flag and question mark that you guys would have. Now, Rockwind is certainly not the first village that you have come across bearing a local tale of witch, monster, or beast lurking in the near wood, abandoned mine, or old ruin. But the frantic nature of the letter, and the earnestness of the words, and the promise of great reward convince you and your group to go and take a look.
Okay. So we're traveling there on like a horse and cart, I guess? Okay.
Oh, you would not necessarily horse and cart. You might have 2 horses. Like so carrying your supplies, backup weapons, armor, all that kind of stuff, cooking equipment, rations,
holy
tents.
water, salt, that sort of stuff, phosphorus for supernatural stuff. I'm assuming if I study it, I carry it around.
Yes, but no. I mean, you do know that holy water is useful against certain creatures, so I will grant it that you would have that, but most creatures not so much. Okay. Having said that, though, you do know that there are things about almost every supernatural creature you've learnt that weaknesses, something to exploit to give you an edge, an upper hand.
And you probably know them because of your
Well,
amazing skill.
At this, I would say I'm probably the best person in the world at supernatural knowledge in this universe.
I need to fill you in on an experience you had. Mackie's character, Sir Alaric, he decided to go on his quest to eradicate the world of evil magics and stuff like that when he was in the service to one of the church's inquisitors as a crusader. And the inquisitor actually came across a legitimate witch, he called her, and this witch seemed to have the power over fire and control fire and was doing some very much great amounts of damage. She seemed desperate. You remember her being desperate and like she wasn't able to control it, but you were the one who dealt the killing blow to save the village. You had a very unique experience after you killed her. When her dead body was lying in your hands, you had strange sensations. Okay, you felt this kind of in the back of your mind as you held her dead body of energy and power and motion and heat and fire, and it almost felt like you could reach out and touch it with your mind, but you didn't at that time.
Has he felt that since?
No.
My other question, just for immersion, what's the name of this inquisitor? Because I imagine he may come up from time to time.
Delaran.
Okay.
Inquisitor Delaran.
So we are on our way to this place, this town.
Yes,
Rockwind,
it is a small town named Rockwind. Rockwind is a small village on the outskirts of Terrador Barony in the county of Borderbrook of Rivion Province in the Duchy of Galaton.
Oh my God, calm down!
7th Duchy.
Jesus Christ. We give you one medieval campaign. I'm just kidding.
7th Duchy within the Kingdom of Crucition.
Okay, golf club.
I have a very extensive map, right? Every duchy is written, every province, county, and barony. Or not the barony, they get too small, but still.
Who's the baron of this land that we're going to? What's his name? The baron.
The baron? Now, you can actually look that because the peerage is generally well known. Barons are generally a bit harder for even people who study the peerage to remember. Most knights study the peerage and understand this. But once you get closer to where this barony is,
So finicky with the aircon.
Does it not have a thermostat to just keep it at like 21?
It does, but I always get cold or hot. Like just, I don't know, it's really dumb.
Ador. Lord Ador Dinner.
Okay.
Is his wife a window? I'm so. No, don't say it.
I
Don't.
can't
Oh my
believe you
god.
bag me out for my sense of humour.
I
When
thought
you
you
whip
were-
out ones like that, I love them, but still, the irony.
Every time I do, you just like hate me for it.
I'm like, damn.
How dare you?
He bags me out for those jokes all the time because I say them all the time. So anyway,
I thought you were going to say adorable, but
Lord
Oh, that was a good one.
Ador.
Nice.
how do you spell that? Is it A-D-O-O-R? Or
A-D-
A-D-O-R-E?
O-R. And that's it.
Ador.
Ador.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
So, how close are we to this town? Set the scene in our opening scene.
What
You-
sort of land is it? Marshland?
No, it's forested hills, but as you've been approaching the town of Rockwind, the land is becoming much more rocky and craggy, quite significantly so. And as you travel towards it, you learned that the principal kind of thing of this town is that there is a quarry nearby. It has been, these people have been quarrying the stone in this area for hundreds of years. And once one quarry is kind of exhausted, they just go over, several hundred feet and start a new one because there's stone everywhere around here. Very craggy. And people warned you on the way saying, you got to be careful. Don't go off the roads when you're getting over to Old Rockwind. There are crevices you'll fall down. You'll never get out of them.
Lots of rock and lots of wind over in Rockwind.
There's a reason why they call it Rockwind.
Okay.
The worst part is when the rocks are in the wind. It's horrible.
And when you break wind while you're in the wind, especially downwind, your rocks will get... Anyway.
Moving on. Okay. So we're on the way to this place. Does it look like, is there plant life and that sort of thing?
Oh
Or
yeah,
is
there's like trees and there's kind of, groves of forests. It's hilly, craggy, rocky kind of thing like
So
that.
it doesn't look desolate. There's just lots of
No,
rocks.
it's actually quite a fertile land. Lots of wildlife as well, you're kind of noticing as you're walking around. You even spy a deer or two in
Okay.
the area. Okay? You know that it's illegal to hunt them for you. You might be able to just get away with it because you're kind of, almost on the
mean a
nobility
lark?
level.
It's illegal for a lark to hunt.
Yeah, he might get away with it.
Why is that in other people's counties or something? Is that why? Or-
Only nobility can hunt deer.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's illegal for all of us.
Yeah, but he might be able to get away with it because it's a knight, so it's a great
But we'd be
area.
in big trouble.
Oh yeah, you guys will be screwed if you But yes, deer
now,
in this
let me just sort of remind, basically from your early introduction to the setting and the character creation or whatever, you mentioned not going out at night. Does that apply universally, or is that just
It's a very strong superstitious belief amongst most people in the realm that at night time bad things happened. In your experiences in life, generally that's been true.
Okay.
Okay, you might have even lost a brother or two. They went out at night.
I have loads. They're
I
kind of
know.
expendable.
They
So
never came back.
I think it was Barnaby. No, it was
Barnaby?
I forget his name.
Barnaby?
Yeah, Barnaby. Anyways.
Barnaby
I
Joyce.
feel like I need an accent, but I'm terrified to try. I'll be. Hello, I'm Dale
do a-
from the
do a
Southern
Scottish
County. I'm thinking I'll go a touch more Irish.
All right. You crest a hill as you are coming out of a small kind of grove of trees that shrouded the roadway that you're in. It is raining heavily. The road has become muddy, and there is an overcast grey sheen to the air. But you see Rockwind off in the distance.
Is it still
nestled.
daytime or is it like late evening?
It's daytime, but because it's raining, it's very overcast, and it feels like late evening, even though it's just a bit past noon.
How long have
Okay.
we been travelling?
We've been travelling for about 2 days since the last town village you left. Okay, it's been slow going. The road isn't really maintained too well. You did notice an estate/castle that you passed on your way to Rockwind, which you would have assumed that belonged to the Baron of this land.
I sure hope they have food in that there castle. I'm hungry.
What, my food isn't good enough for you?
Oh no, it's just not enough for me. I'm sorry, but you never really cook enough for me.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Shoes come in two forms in this setting. Leather soled or leather soled with steel tacks on the bottom of them. It's actually more significant than you might think.
Leather sold, no tax.
Leather soled, no tax?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd probably have leather soled, no tax.
Okay. You all get...
Amy? She didn't answer.
Probably just normal leather shoes. Yeah.
Okay. Everyone roll an acrobatics. As you're coming, you're gonna go over a crest and you're now on your downhill kind of run.
Muddy and...
Everyone
Gotcha.
roll an acrobatics check against a challenge level of 3.
I'm assuming that'd be
So is
reflex
it
based
3
or
plus-
both?
3
Acrobatics is reflex, yeah.
reflex, 3 minus 2 for everyone who has leather soled shoes.
-2. Bugger.
So do you get
Wait, what?
one for reflex?
That's like impossible for... That's a pretty
Okay,
rough...
challenge level 2, but still minus
Okay.
minus 2 off your roll.
Alright. I succeeded.
Okay.
So you still get the same amount of dice, it just takes off wins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No,
Takes off
minus 2 dice.
Minus two
Yeah.
dice. Against a challenge level of 2.
Because I had 5 dice, but I rolled 3. You fail.
Amy?
Do I get one for reflex?
So
yes, if
one
you have
for
win reflex, so that's your total roll, then -2 over the
Alright.
total.
2.
Yep. So you better... You both failed.
So as you start to go downhill, it is so muddy and slippery and you are not wearing the right shoes for this situation. You both, Sir Alrond and Sadie, your feet just fly right
Me
out.
lord!
Like,
Me lady!
And
I like
you
scream.
slide over and just right in the mud.
Oh, crap. I'm like, screw it! And I just like jump down and like slide after him.
So you slide down a bit until you finally, and you kind of knocking around. You can make another acrobatic check to try and stop your slide as you're going down, sloshing in this mud.
Same challenge
What's
level?
Yeah.
challenge level's 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a statistical improbability, but
I successfully stopped my intentional slide. Mackie.
I do too.
So Alaric and Dale get up, brush themselves off.
Oh, it's not brushes. Like
Sadie's like, face in the mud.
You're still mud,
Covered in
just
mud, yeah. We've been
everywhere.
travelling in the
But
rain. It's
the
not
mud is starting to wash off because it's raining still. But Sadie, you're still like, so, and you reach the bottom of this kind of slope area, and you're a mess. You guys are just standing there.
I'll just
Let me help you
roughly
up,
go.
miss. And I hold out my hand and assist her with... do I need a roll for it, or...
No, that's fine.
I pull you up. Oh, well, nothing like a first impression to tell.
Roll perception.
What's the challenge?
2.
Challenge level
It's
2.
a 2. So in case anyone doesn't know,
You go.
anything 3 and under is a loss on the dice, and anything 4 above is a win. And so if the challenge level is 2, you need to roll at least 2 dice above 3 to achieve the challenge level. Just letting those people who don't know.
I got a 3.
So you pass
2, yeah.
2.
3 base plus 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a -1 from what you just.
I
went
forgot
through.
to
You're a
mention
bit
this,
flustered.
and I forgot to add this to my roll. So all of the skills, you'll see they're in groups of 4 with a base attribute. So there are strength skills, reflex skills, and intelligence skills. Perception is all of it. So,
Okay.
so you get your base of 3 plus whatever points in perceptions plus all points of attributes. So I actually
sweet.
didn't add those, but yeah, I
So-
succeeded anyway. So
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
yeah, so that's
Oh,
quite a
minus
lot.
1?
Yes, you're still very perceptive.
1, 2. That was a 5. Whoops. I got 2 5.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a case.
That's it.
As
You got 2. It was a challenge level 2,
Oh, sweet.
so you passed.
As Sadie
Scramble
pulls
up.
herself up and you're trying to kind of recover from how slippery, and it's still slippery as anything under your foot. In the distance, beyond the village, on a cresting hill, several kilometres away, you spy an old ruin kind of sitting just in front of the clouds like a black spire.
Aye, it's an old ruin out there in the distance. That's mighty big.
Is it like watchtowery, churchy?
It is.
Granary?
It's castle size, but there are many levels of castles. You would compare it to the castle of a standard baron, which is it's a standard keep. So to give dimensions on this thing,
It's like 75 meters tall or something?
No, it's not nowhere near that. It's probably 10 to 15 meters square footprint. Very square with kind of, dip towers on the side. But as it goes up, it kind of cragbles off and, breaks off as it, as it rises.
Okay.
There's an ominous feeling about the ruin.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Alright. So I'm assuming we have to head to the...
Roll a supernatural knowledge-y, checky thing.
Okay, so...
He could aid his perception with that, I imagine.
He could.
Assist
Well, not necessarily perception. He could get his perception to aid his supernatural thingy. It's so technical here. Whoa! Holy crap!
4, 5, so 6.
Success.
Yeah, I
Great success.
So, Sir Alaric has been studying up on this witch that the villagers claim has been plaguing them to try and figure out certain things. And you have learnt quite a bit because there is rumour about this witch going back years upon years upon years. But the thing that you've pretty much been able to confirm that's not a rumour is that the villagers do offer up a young girl every 10 years. And the girl has always been the closest one to the age of 10. And they take her to that ruin that you recognise, that strange castle in the distance, and she never returns.
Hang on, is this part of the Rockwind town? Or is
No,
this...
it's further off in the distance, several kilometres behind it,
Okay.
on a hill.
Do I know anything about this?
Interesting thing, you've learned certain things about how this has been affecting the land around. Border disputes are very common in the kingdom between lords and barons over land, resources, insults, everything. And so little skirmishes between lords, even though they're of the same kingdom, happen quite often. Sometimes full-blown wars between lords and everything like that. The county that this area is located in, which I wrote down, and I'll find... Okay, the county of Borderbrook you found very interesting, has not had a border dispute in the last 100 years with anyone. That is very odd. And you think it might have something to do with the witch. People are frightened as anything. This fear of the ruin witch spreads to the counties, and though not many people have heard of the ruin witch outside of the duchy, within the provinces, at least most people have heard rumour of her. But the closer you get to it, it gets more fearful and more real, especially in the area you're in now.
May I ask, the note that was scrawled that brought this to our attention that we went to, I'm assuming, did the note specify the ruin witch, or did Sir Alaric just sort of know about the ruin witch and that?
It said the ruin witch.
It said the ruin. Okay, cool.
And I'll give you something else. Because you study the supernatural quite intensely, you've learned a couple of things about how the stuff works. And you've learned throughout your things that there are different types of magic. Most people think magic is just magic in the world, and most people automatically attribute it to witchcraft. But you have learned through your study that witchcraft is actually a select, specific type of magic. And for this underground kind of cult following, the covens, the circles of these people who practice magic and other things like that, you have found that they call the magic yellow magic.
Okay.
And that the reason why is that when people use this type of magic, a distinct yellow glow emanates from it. You've also learned that every type of magic has a colour associated with it, and it is often called after that colour. So you've heard of red magic, blue magic, green magic, black magic. And
that was a really good roll. You've learned a lot.
Black magic, is universally crazy evil, real bad stuff.
Is there stuff like that I would know? So, for example, I'm assuming is that there's different types of witches. So, like, is there some witches that, even though they're all, let's say there's 3 witches that all use yellow magic. Some, for example, gain their magic from a specific area of yellow magic. So, for example, in The Witcher, you've got like noon wraiths and stuff who get their power specifically at noon or at night or around certain buildings and that sort of thing.
No.
Don't know anything about it.
You don't know, but what you do know is that amongst the magic people that you found using magic and stuff like that, it's odd. Most of them either are using a stick kind of object or a walking stick when they're magic, except the sorceress that you killed. She had nothing on her. She was not using any
She didn't have a ring or anything?
No.
Okay.
Which was odd.
Okay.
Cool.
So there you go. These are the things you've learned and you've studied.
Do we have a horse and
You've got 2 horses, and they're kind of sloshing their way down to you, doing a much better job than you guys have done.
all right, back on the horses then.
I'll suggest to the guys. So do we go to the mayor? Would it be the mayor?
The note was actually specifically from the mayor of the town.
All right, and his name is? His name?
I shall look it up.
I thought you got
Mayor Hoffer.
Hoffer.
How do you spell it?
Hoffer.
Cool. The Hoff.
The Hoff.
Okay.
We walk in, he's like there with like open shirt, like gross hairy chest, just like, hey.
My name's
Biting into like a
I used to
turkey
live
leg.
on the
My
beach, you
name's-
know.
Hassel. Hoffer. Back on your feet,
Okay.
you make your way into Stonewind. There are people...
Rockwind,
Rockwind. That one! Named!
Good job, narrator.
I know.
I call it fluid narration. It changes every time I say it.
So, people notice you right away. Okay?
Do they know me by fame?
How many?
or
When you
anything?
say people, how many people? Or how
The
populated is it?
population of this town might be 150.
So it's pretty small.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we get in there. There's a couple of people. Is it dingy? Is it?
Yeah, like, thatched roof cottages and stuff like that. There wouldn't be an inn per se in a village this small, but there is a town meeting house kind of area.
So like a town hall almost.
Exactly. But what that is, it's not like a town hall as you would think it. What it is mainly, it's a thatched roof shelter with a big fire in the middle with seats around.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's like I said, early afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. But when people see you, the mothers whisper to children, shoo them inside. People kind of run around, but obviously you were seen a mile off, and
Rolling down the hill.
you're covered
They're
in
the people who are said to rescue us. Then we're gonna die.
covered in mud. Well, but the rain would be washing it off as well.
Okay.
So, a fair, a solid man in an oiled cloak. He comes out down from one of the streets and he sees you and he's got his hood kind of up, got a big thick beard, big jowl kind of beard, and he sees you and he starts to approach you as you come.
Does he
into the
look
town.
ominous?
No, he doesn't look ominous, but he looks to carry himself more confidently than other people.
Okay.
Hey, strangers, what brings you to Stonewind?
I look up at Sir Alaric.
We don't get many visitors here, apart from the odd trading caravan that comes through.
We've heard of a contract regarding the ruin witch.
You found a letter?
We found it, yes.
Thank the Lord. Come with me. Come.
Okay.
And he's like shooing you over and taking you through to one. It takes you basically. If any house could be called impressive, they're not impressive. But if any house could be called impressive, this one would be it. Okay.
So it's the best looking house around.
Yeah,
basically.
so shingles instead of thatch roof. Still a bit run down, but it's 2-story. Having said that, when you walk in, everything is one room. The second story is on like a mezzanine level with not stairs but a ladder kind of thing, open fireplace stuff, really down. But he's like,
Does it look like the town hall? Is that what?
no, this is the town hall is basically a thatched roof shelter with a big fireplace. And
So
seats
what is
around.
this?
This is his home.
His okay.
Yeah, this is
and this is the
definitely-
mayor.
You don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
Come in.
All right.
Well, are you the mayor, sir?
My name's Hoff.
Oh, I think that's the name we were told to look for. Is that right?
Hoffer? Sir Hoffer? Mr. Hoffer?
Just Hoffer is fine.
Okay.
I'm the mayor around here. I try and keep things in order.
So why is it all hush hush then?
It's the witch. The time is coming.
She doesn't like to be talked about.
Say if you say her name too loud, she'll hear you.
Just FYI, whispering might not work so well with the lapel mics. Yeah, do that.
They say if you whisper her name, she'll hear you. I don't know what accent I'm starting to talk in, but it's starting to become Scottish.
No!
So what exactly do we have to be afraid of with this ruin witch? What does she actually do to this land?
I'll show you. Come with me.
Alright, and I follow cautiously.
It takes you outside of, you kind of go and throw it, the streets are fairly wide because it's a small village, so the houses are placed fairly decently apart, but he takes you down into the back. And when he takes you around to one of the areas, you notice something very odd. Statues. There are stone statues.
Of women, I presume? Or girls? Are they?
They are of people.
In what sort of poses and expressions?
Very fearful.
Okay, so
Very
this is
scary.
like the White Witch Narnia style statues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he goes, that's what happens.
So
How
she
do you find them like that? What, just in their houses one morning or something?
There used to be people. That there is my ma.
Your mother's there.
Aye.
That's
Bloody hell.
unfortunate.
Sorry for
witch.
your loss. Or
Turn people into stone.
Okay.
All right, we better put a stop to that then, right, me lord?
Yeah, we might be able to do something about this.
We need your help. We're all serfs here, sworn fealty to our lord. If we leave, he'll claim that we've broken our oaths.
Was
and
he
we'll be-
Scottish before?
I don't know, but now he is. If the
All right, that's fine. Just roll with it.
Yeah, whatever.
He's Scottish now. It was
He's-
just it
he's
became very
Scottish,
fickle.
I don't really know why, but I'm terrible at accents. So,
No, it's fine. It just
Yeah.
changed very quickly.
it's-
Sorry, do go on. I'm sorry. It was just
Yeah.
threw me off.
So- anyway,
Um,
we'll be hunted down and killed by the Baron. And
Would-
then, those of us he kills, he finds more poor souls to swear to him, bringing the bondage as his serfs to come here, and then we're trapped. We've pleaded to our lord, the Baron, and his lord, the Count, and they've done nothing for years upon years.
Aye, it sounds
He
like
starts to get choked up, and now the time has come again. And it's my daughter that the witch will want, the closest one to the age of 10.
sounds like you need some contractors. Sounds like that to me.
We have no money except the riches that may be stored away in the yonder castle. You are free to take anything that you find there if you can help us. Kill the witch. Free us,
I
please.
try and subtly tug it at Sir Alaric's coat.
what about food?
We'll take care of all your lodgings while you're here. There's a good woman, Mildred. She's got the next biggest house over there. She's had 6 sons. They've all grown up, and they're all got their own houses. Those that are still alive. She'll lodge you for the time you stay here, and we'll feed you.
We're very hungry. We've been on the road for quite a while and need sustenance to do this job properly.
I'll organise a meal. It'll be had under the town hall.
Feast? You'll organise a feast? Maybe?
I'll see what that can
We
do.
travelled a long way and we're keen to help.
Rob, as soon as I started using a Scottish accent, Rob is
Kill him.
I can see it in chat.
Screw you, Rob! Screw you!
Do go on.
Okay. On our way to this food gathering, wait, how long are we talking to this guy for? Or is it like
That's
mid
kind of it.
afternoon?
He asks you just wait under the shelter, and there's already a fire, and there are 1 or 2 villagers who've been sitting there warming themselves at the fire, but as soon as they see you approach, they get up and kind of scurry away.
Okay.
But it's a very interesting situation is described here that you would be very familiar with, because they're serfs, which is a glorified form of slavery, basically.
Yeah.
And serfs that run away after they've sworn fealty to a lord,
Dead straight away.
mhm. So they can't go anywhere without permission, basically. But
By the way, for those listening to the podcast, is a symbol of a hand going
Yes,
across the throat,
across a neck.
signaling death.
So, alright, so is Hoffa still with us, or is he off organising things?
he's off organising food. He's told you to wait under the shelter for, whatever.
Can I proceed to interview any people that are floating around? Is it still raining?
Yeah.
Can I door knock?
You can if you like.
Is that polite?
That expression on the narrator's face is very telling.
Is that
That
polite
slight
in
smirk of, causing trouble then.
this? Is that polite in this era?
No, it's fine. You can do that.
I guess the
You don't
inclination, the feeling I'm getting is just from the response that we got from the mayor when we arrived, and the reception we have from the townspeople means that it might not go so well.
I don't have to specifically mention anything about the witch.
It's true.
Hmm.
Plus, chaos roll could be in our favour.
Roll
It could be very bad.
perception.
You roll a 1 chaos roll, you knock on the door, it's the witch.
So
You
this
caught me
perception is
mid-murder.
Where's it? Can I have a cheat sheet? I didn't bring
Yes.
that. I just need a cheat sheet.
We need a difficulty
Here's
level.
Thank you. Just to double check something. Okay. Challenge level 4 for this perception. Roll.
Can I assist it with supernatural scholars?
You can indeed, sir.
Right, so...
Pass that back. I want my cheat sheet back.
Oh, well,
Bring your own.
Fine.
When I do the base roll for supernatural scholar, do I do strength and intelligence as well? Or just intelligence? Or...
Sorry, what?
It would be intelligence. It wouldn't have anything to do with strength.
Yeah.
Can I just roll with supernatural scholar instead of perception? In this case? Or do I need to assist my perception with it?
It's an assist, yeah.
Okay. Well, this is my assist roll.
1, 2 on this.
Yeah, 2 dice outside the thing. So that's a total of 3 in an assist.
Okay, so the challenge
break
level
even.
minimum on 3 is 3, so you don't get any bonuses on your perception.
That's
Challenge level's 4, and you can all try for this
Oh.
perception.
Oh no, without throwing the dice everywhere.
I got 4. With 5 dice.
One. Is it 4 included?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
1,
got
2, 3
3.
is fail. 4, 5, 6 is a success.
So I
Okay,
got
you fail.
failed.
Okay, challenge level 3 perception. That's a failure.
Fail.
So
4
the
is
arrow-
tough to get, bud.
I've done it.
Adaric.
What do I ascertain from this perception roll?
On the corner of a house,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the back corner, so not on the main road, you see a stone, a rock, sitting in the ground that looks out of place. Didn't really mean much until as you were kind of moving away by the corner eye, you noticed something was etched on the rock.
Okay, is it a rune? Like,
You'll
I'll,
need to
I'll
go
approach
closer.
it.
You'll
Yeah, I'm going to
approach
approach the rock.
Challenge level 4. Walk to the rock. You die trying to walk to the rock. It's a mysterious death-causing rock.
This is etched on the rock.
Okay,
69.
basically.
I'm sorry. You drew it, not me.
It's just
It's a
right.
sideways 69.
Alright,
It's the way it is!
anyway,
Yeah, I didn't draw that.
you took it there though.
Sorry.
Do I know anything about this particular symbol? Have I encountered it before?
You've never seen this symbol before at all, but you do know that there are some runes and other things that are often used in supernatural whatevers. Sometimes they're used to ward off evil spirits and they mean nothing, but sometimes they can be legitimately magical stuff.
The house that's on this corner, where it's out the front of, I'm going to knock on the door.
Okay.
So,
Are we with him at this point, or has he just gone off by
I
himself?
imagine we'd follow him around. That's sort of our job. I would. You could choose not to, I guess.
I'll probably just tag along.
Yeah.
Does anyone answer?
A woman kind of opens halfway, looking out. Yes.
Sorry to disturb you, ma'am. I'm just wondering, do you know what the deal with this rock is? Did you put this here, or has it been here? How long has it been here?
You're asking about a rock?
It's a very interesting
It's an important
approach
rock.
to take.
Trust me.
And it's been there for as long as I can remember.
So, since you were a child?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a rock.
And there's no stories around the town about this particular rock?
It's a rock.
Okay, that's all I need to know. And I'll close the door.
I want that to happen in real life to me one day. I want someone to knock on my door. I'd be like, is this your brick? Yes. Any particular stories associated with this brick? Has this brick here been here since your childhood? I'm sorry, that was just amusing. Continue.
Okay. Is there any particular colours or anything that are unique about it?
No.
Okay, so it's just normal
Rocks
rock with an
are
etching.
common. Sorry, rocks are not uncommon in this area. They're everywhere. But
Yeah, but
this
ones
was
with
just-
etchings,
yeah.
I'm assuming are. I'm going to proceed to smash it with my hammer. As hard as I can.
I look to Sadie and I'm like, he's a strange one, isn't he?
So
Little
you
bit.
get out your pole axe, turn it to the hammer side, and you just
Yeah,
lay into
swing.
this thing.
Yeah, I'm aiming to shatter it.
As soon as you start, you don't need roll perceptions, but you know, mothers kind of open up shutters, look out, like
I turn around like, nothing to see here, just bashing some rocks. On your way.
So you don't really need to roll perception because it's kind of obvious, but in the distance, you see a cloaked, bearded figure. He is a bit, nowhere near as built as the mayor, but he's got a longbow, unstrung, so he's using it like a walking staff. He's
Yeah.
got it right there, and it's just kind of looking at you.
Okay. Do I smash the rock?
The rock is smashed.
Did anything happen?
No,
It made a man appear who has a beard, who's standing in the corner with an unstrung bow.
he's down the street, but he's
I'm going to
kind of-
proceed to pull out my sketchbook and sketch the marking that I saw as well.
Alrighty. Okay, now Jazza is giving me looks. So we are going to leave it there for
This video.
This video.
Mhm.
But of course, Twitch, there's just more
It's
to
just
come.
good to keep them
Yep.
sort of divided in an even way.
So until next time, YouTube, thank you for joining with us.
Thanks for joining.
See you guys.
Bye.